Hi, I'm Bev Clow, and this is our conversation on caring. Today, I am joined by my friend Ryan. Ryan has created a smart technology that allows folks to age in place with dignity, and he shares with us today some of the challenges of becoming a caregiver and some of the tools that he has found to be most helpful. I think you'll really enjoy this conversation. All right, Ryan, thank you so much for joining me today for this conversation on caring. Can you start us out and just tell us how you became a caregiver? What's your caregiver story?
Sure. And again, thank you for having me. I really appreciate this. So, my story is that my father unfortunately got cancer. And when he was getting his chemo treatments, as a caregiver, I was very concerned. And I guess, like anybody else, the way that we get into this caregiving is an event happens, something happens to our loved one, and all of a sudden we're thrust into this position. And for me, my first thing was obviously, how is he doing? How are we going to beat this? And then supporting him as he's getting his chemotherapy.
And what did you find was most helpful on that path for you?
Google. And it's a love-hate relationship, right? Because on one hand, I know nothing in this space. So I start tapping on the computer to kind of find out. And the good thing is there's a lot of information out there. The bad thing is I don't know what's true. It's kind of disparate. It's all over the place.
Yeah. What types of things did your loved ones do to support you as you were the caregiver?
Yeah, great question. Basically, give me a shoulder because caregiving is chaos.
Mm.
So just to be able to kind of ask somebody, what do I do here? Who do I have to call here? What needs to be done here? I think that's a big issue with a lot of people because as I said before, we're kind of thrust into this and I mean, for myself, I had no clue what's involved.
Yeah, yeah. Um, is there something that you think people don't realize who are not yet caregivers, like from the outside?
I think probably the biggest takeaway is caregiving isn't easy, even if you have a great relationship with your loved one. And I have a very good relationship with my parents. With that said, caregiving is chaos. And I think it's really important to also focus on yourself. You can't just give everything up and just be solely focused on your loved one. And that's very noble. And I admire that. But kind of like when you take a flight, if something happens, you have to put the oxygen mask on first and then help that other person. I think it's the exact same here. If you're not healthy and well
Mm,
and focused, you can't give the best of yourself to this other person. And it's super easy getting run down, super
yeah,
easy.
yeah. What is one of the ways that you put on your metaphorical oxygen mask? What is some of your tips and tricks here?
For me, I go for a run, and running is that love-hate relationship as well. I hate running. It's hard. I love it though because it is a way that once you start doing it, you literally forget about everything else. You're trying not to fall face forward on the cement, right? So it forces all the other stuff out, and when you come back, at least I feel refreshed. So doing some kind of physical activity, something to just disconnect your brain
Yeah.
away from the chaos of caregiving. And I think the other thing too is focusing on nutrition because what I learned from myself is I tend to eat more stressfully. And I also tend to not eat well. And what I mean by that is because you're always running around, everything's going crazy. It's just so easy to go through, Dunkin' Donuts or Burger King or name your fast food restaurant
Yeah.
and just get something to eat and eat on the road. And I get it, but we probably shouldn't do that all the time.
Yeah. It makes me think like, when you have someone in your life who you see as a caregiver, giving them, homemade food, like there's a reason why we have meal trains because it is so
Right.
easy to just exist on the junk food that really doesn't sustain you, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How has being a caregiver changed your life? I know that it's really impacted you and your business, but can you share with us?
Yeah, because of my own journey down this road that we call caregiving, I my problem was it started with if my father was taking his medication, and I come from the smart technology, all that stuff you hear, IoT, smart home, all that lovely stuff. And I wanted a way to know if he took his medication. And then it got bigger. Did dad even get up this morning? Because chemo is kind of rough on the body.
Yeah.
Did he get up? How many times was he up last night? So I was trying to leverage things in the smart home arena, and it really wasn't working. So I developed my own solution. It was duct tape, it was sensors, it whatever, but I got it working. And then I used my wonderful 97-year-old grandmother as my next guinea pig. And then I started talking to people, and I realized that there's this huge need out there to be a fly on the wall. I mean,
Mm.
we don't want to take over our loved ones' lives. They don't want it. They want their independence, and they want to be on their own for as long as possible, and we want to give them that dignity.
Yeah.
But we still, I mean, I need to know if dad got up. I need to know if he's moving around. I need to know if he ate. Did he take his medication, or did he just walk out the front door? So I developed a solution, which now I'm lucky enough to really try to change the world with and help as many caregivers as possible.
And you make aging in place with dignity really possible.
That's the goal. The goal is just to be the fly on the wall and really help out my loved one.
It's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Ryan, and thank you for sharing with us in this conversation on caring. Really
I
appreciate it.
appreciate. Thank you for having me on. This is awesome.
Thank you.